Friends, imagine you're driving along a bridge and suddenly the road ahead comes to an abrupt end. Furthermore, consider what might occur if a building in New York experienced a similar unexpected event. The continuous flow of traffic upon it, coupled with how this remarkable structure leaned to one side similarly to melting ice cream. In today's informative video, I'm going to share with you the most significant construction errors ever made. Therefore, let's commence our countdown 200. Whenever we pass over a bridge, it always leads to some road ahead. But have you ever come across exactly such a bridge wherein, after you have crossed it, you realize that there is no road extending forward beyond that bridge? Alternatively, there might be no path available, which indeed sounds strange since bridges are always designed and built to ensure the completion of roads. However, this unusual bridge that you are presently seeing is completely incomplete. This bridge is in China's city of Guangzhou and it's called Dead End Highway. The structure is impressively built amidst the towering mountains, and its construction was meticulously executed with the same precision and elegance as a perfect bridge. But the surprising thing is, where the bridge ends, from there is neither a road nor any path. So you all might be thinking that maybe this bridge is under construction, but that's not the case. Actually, when China's government started this bridge building project, it didn't seem that this would become a shortcut to Guangzhou, but later it was found that it turned out to be longer than other routes, so its construction was stopped there. And since then, this bridge has remained the same. Anyway, whatever may be, it was one of the world's biggest and most expensive construction mistakes. Friends, you might have seen many bridges in your life, but you probably have not yet witnessed a bridge as weird and uniquely unusual as this one until today. This bridge is located in the Russian city of Volgograd, and its length is approximately 1.5 kilometers. The strangest thing about this bridge is that whenever strong winds blow persistently in this area, it begins to sway back and forth in an extremely noticeable and peculiar manner. Seeing this scene, it feels like this is not a bridge but a swing. Even the people living here have named it. Regarding the Sing Bridge, you might all be thinking that perhaps the engineers made a mistake during its construction process, which inadvertently caused various problems. This bridge is like this, but you would be surprised to know that not just one, but dozens of experts have checked its construction details, yet they found no mistake was seen. They say that the bridge starts to swing because of wind gusts. In reality, when strong winds blow, its sway is so significant that the bridge starts to sway. But it's worth considering what happens to the people who are driving on the bridge at that particular time was truly nothing less than a real disaster in reality. Friends, the terrifying scene that you are witnessing right now is incredibly frightening and deeply unsettling. Presenting it in a glass makes it seem like a movie clip, but you would be surprised to know that this building is absolutely real. Actually, this was a residential building in Hualien City, Taiwan. It had 8 floors with around 200 people living inside. There was an earthquake in Taiwan with a magnitude of 7.2. The earthquake caused all the subsequent damage that occurred. But this building was struck by such a powerful jolt that it completely collapsed the entire side when the disaster occurred. At that time, there were quite a few people inside the building. The local rescue team arrived on time and saved the people present, but this building no longer exists. It remained tilted like a buckled screen. According to investigations, in 2018, Taiwan's government had included this building among the country's most dangerous structures, but in these years, instead of rebuilding it, it was just left as is, and people even continued to live inside. So ultimately, this was the inevitable outcome. Speaking of cranes, they are used during construction too. Cranes are essential for transferring heavy materials up or down construction sites. But what if a crane's loaded bucket becomes unstable? An object goes out of balance in the sky above the city. Well, the terrifying video you are showing was captured at a construction site in New York in 2023, raising significant concerns. Here, the construction of a building was underway, and the workers were transferring materials to the building's top floor using the crane. They loaded 16 tons of construction material into the crane, and they began to lift it upwards. As soon as the crane reached its peak, a fire suddenly ignited inside its rod before anything could happen. The rod unexpectedly broke and completely detached itself from the large crane, subsequently falling directly onto a nearby building that housed 16 tons of material. All of it fell onto this building, causing it to be even more devastated than before. Later, it was discovered that this accident occurred due to the hydraulic oil inside the crane running out. Essentially, hydraulic oil is a fluid that powers the crane to. They were determined to reach great heights. Meanwhile, when they started work, they did not even perform a safety check, which led to a fire igniting inside the crane midway, ultimately causing its collapse. Whatever it was, this scene was truly terrifying. Friends, the building you are looking at was actually a parking lot in New York on June 16, 2023. People parked their cars and went to work, but when they returned from work, not only the parking area, but their million-dollar cars were also destroyed. In fact, the floor of the parking lot collapsed on its own, which caused not only the cars on this floor, but also all of the cars that were parked on the lower floor were thoroughly destroyed, as you can clearly see in the video. How the destroyed vehicles are being removed with the help of cranes. Then an investigation was conducted and it was found. It became clear that this parking lot had been severely damaged, exhibiting 10-foot-long cracks on its roof, which were not fixed despite the evident damage. And people were constantly parking their cars in this particular place throughout the day. On that specific day, the parking lot was filled with many heavy cars due to their substantial weight. The floor couldn't bear the excessive weight placed upon it, ultimately leading to its sudden and total collapse. Consequently, this collapse caused numerous people's cars to be destroyed. Friends, the collapsed building you are seeing is located in China. Actually, it was a housing complex built in the city of Shanghai. It was called Lotus Riverside Housing Complex, which had many residential buildings constructed inside. This building was also one of them. It was actually a 13-story building with furnished homes built when its construction was completed in 2009. So people bought homes here, but just as they were preparing to shift into their new homes, one night they discovered that the building in which they had bought homes had completely collapsed. Even when the building was standing, a person was passing by there, which caused the building to collapse. He fell beneath it and died. A thorough investigation revealed that the building's foundation was not strong, and it was built with low-quality construction materials. Its foundations were not strong, and the concrete and the steel and other materials used were of extremely poor quality, causing the structure to fail to bear the load of 13 floors and collapse. The good thing is that people had not yet shifted into it. Just imagine if hundreds of people were living here, and then the collapse of this building would have been such a disaster. Friends, a while ago, a video went viral on the internet showing destruction happening in an unknown area. Well, what area was it and what exactly happened here? There is no information about it, but the way these buildings have collapsed makes it seem like someone or the other is here. A massive disaster has certainly occurred. As you can see, that not just one, but 3 or 4 buildings have collapsed together at this location. And they have been so devastated that buildings worth billions have been obliterated. Not only that, but inside them, all the cars, furniture, and even whatever was there have been completely destroyed. Looking at this place, it feels like here. It must have been burned on a very large scale, which not only destroyed people's homes, but also ruined millions of vehicles. Whatever it is, this scene is really terrifying. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you liked the video.